What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Now if you're new to my channel, my videos are usually me apologizing for poor quality and everything going wrong. This video is no different. I actually forgot to shoot an intro in Shanghai, that's why I'm doing it now. And when I was shooting, it was only in low lit, loud places. So with all that out of the way, we're gonna go explore why Shanghai isn't, in my opinion, really part of China. Now, geographically and officially, obviously it's part of China, but this is gonna explore about how different Shanghai is and how many, the way it looks and the people and all that kind of stuff. So, fast forward to Shanghai.
While we talk about if Shanghai is really a Chinese city, to drive the point home even harder, we're eating Montreal-style smoked meat sandwiches.
You're not supposed
and
to
poutine.
have Canadian food. There's no such thing as Canadian food. How do you open up a Canadian food restaurant?
There's
Have you ever
Canadian
asked yourself, damn, I could go for some Canadian?
Yes, all the time, because I'm
Canadian.
Canadian. And this is a real treat for me, because I had poutine in Hong Kong a couple of weeks ago with Brown Eye, and that was not real poutine. But we're not here to talk about poutine now. I wanted to ask you what you think of this city, because we've been here a few times. What is like the biggest difference in your mind about Shanghai, compared to the rest of China?
Well, like I said, when I first came here, I told you, I think the other day, I got off the plane and I actually felt like I was in China. This is the first time, guys, that I've seen, I actually haven't seen them crack down on jaywalking, but it's the first time I've heard someone tell me that in China, particularly Shanghai, you can't jaywalk. It's pretty messed up. I feel like I've stepped out of China for a bit. Because you had these broad boulevards and Western style buildings everywhere. I think the thing that really freaked me out, or kind of made it all come home, was when I went to a 7-Eleven and there was like this 60-year-old woman, and she's like, "Hey, what do you want?" Like, it wasn't great English or whatever, but she spoke English in China, like a 6-year-old woman. I was like, what the hell? I couldn't believe it. So It took me right out of it, and that's the first thing I noticed. And I feel that less now because I recognize some of the Chinese-isms around because I've been here longer. At the end of the day, though, it is very different than the rest of China.
Yeah. I think while we were walking around, I noticed there's still tight alleyways that look kind of Chinese, but the amount of Western influence that's here in the architecture, the food, the people, even just how clean it is.
Yeah.
It really feels like you stepped out of China, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I feel like a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, I don't want to go to Shanghai because it's, I want the real China experience.
People underestimate that. They think they're going to want to be in a very low-tier Chinese city and be having the time of their life, but then it's not that they miss home, it's just you get used to a certain standard of living. So from a Western country, it would be the softest landing for you to start to see China. I think it's a good thing to do.
That's a good point. And it's also really nice for us, if we ever miss home, we can just pop over to Shanghai and get all these Western amenities. It's really amazing.
Even Canadian food. By the way, is it any good?
Well, we're going to find out. This place is called Tops, by the way. It's in Shanghai. I've been here before and loved it. It's real Montreal style. Thick-ass sandwiches, you know what I mean?
Very good. I got the smoked beef. That was amazing.
It was so good. I'm telling you, Canadian food, dude.
It's fantastic.
Go in for some poutine.
Okay, it'll be my first time on camera eating poutine. I'm gonna go for the gooey center. So this is gravy and French fries going down the hatch.
Orange cheese.
Orange cheese. This is good. I mean, it's debaucherous.
It's debaucherous, but I can't.
It's a mortal sin.
This is exactly what you're going to eat if you ever go to Canada.
Are Canadian people
amazing? Yeah, no,
that's ridiculous.
Oh no, that's
very good though. I like that a lot.
It's very good. So we're going to talk a little bit more about how Shanghai is different from the rest of the mainland a little bit later, because I have a friend coming over. She lives here in Shanghai, loves it here, and we're going to ask her a few questions about her time here.
Sounds good. Sorry, I've been digging in that poutine too much. That's freaking delicious.
I'm so glad. So I want to introduce you guys to my good friend Lucy, who lives here in Shanghai, and she's going to explain to us a little bit about what it's like to live here and how is it different from other Chinese cities, because it is very, very different. So what about Shanghai, what is it about Shanghai that made you want to live here, as opposed to say Beijing or Shenzhen or something?
I think the obvious thing about Shanghai is that it's much more international. And well, for me, I've lived overseas for a long time, and it's quite comfortable here. You can choose to be friends with anybody, and then there's people from all around the world coming to Shanghai.
Right.
You know, so I guess it's a lot of choices.
Okay.
A lot of choices.
Yeah. Cool. So if you could break down, like just the top 3 or the top 2, whatever, the biggest differences between Shanghai and other cities. Like, so that's what made you want to live here, right? But what are the biggest differences between Shanghai and every other city? What makes this place so different?
I haven't been to a lot of cities in China. I was born in Beijing. I was in Beijing for 6 years before I moved to Malaysia. So, I don't know. I don't have much memory about Beijing, but I don't know. I don't think I have enough information to comment on that. You do hear a lot of stuff about Shanghai, and that's like the place to go. You know, it's like
So whatever you've heard, just that is true. Yeah. I picked a great interviewee. This is great. This is working perfectly. What is the biggest difference, do you think, about Shanghai from the rest of the world?
It's very fast-paced.
Fast-paced, okay.
So if you like the kind of lifestyle where every day there's something new, and I met people who's lived here for 7 years or something, and they tell me that you never get bored because there's bars and restaurants opening and closing all the time. And
the economy is just awful, is that what you're saying?
Probably, but yeah, there's just new things all the time. You never get bored, and you can do whatever you like here.
Right. Okay. So, do you notice any kind of attitude differences between people that are from Shanghai and people that are from other parts of China or other parts of the world?
You're from Shanghai, but other parts of the world.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
I think people here are very motivated. As in, there's something for them to chase for in life. They want to either achieve something,
right?
You know, go somewhere. There's always a goal in mind doing anything. It also depends on the sort of community, or whether you're a tourist, or whether you're a foreigner, or whether you're from here. But for the local Chinese, I definitely think that there's a purpose to everything that they do.
Okay, cool. I want to ask you more about Shanghai, but I'm so fucking hot in this restaurant. I didn't realize how hot Shanghai was going to be. Me and Cmilk have been walking around all day, melting. We are on fire. And we came from Guangdong, the hottest province in China. Well, at least in our opinion, it's humid and hot, and we're dying.
Yeah, the problem is the humidity.
It's very humid.
So humid here.
I also forgot about pollution.
Humid.
Shanghai does have. Well, it's weird because the first time I came to Shanghai, no, but it is very. I know it's very polluted. But when I first came to Shanghai, it's super clean.
It's gotta be worse. But compared to Huizhou, it's much worse.
Huizhou doesn't really have pollution. We have our days. Anyways, thank you so much, and we are going to continue walking around Shanghai, exploring the city, and trying to figure this place out, because it's a very strange place for Cmilk and I.
So Lucy is absolutely correct in this video. The people in Shanghai are a lot more first worldish. They're a lot more concerned about progression in their own lives versus people in smaller cities where they're more concerned about traditions and family values and things like that. I know I am generalizing, but that is kind of the way it is. But that's not really the point I wanted to make. What I really wanted to talk about is the atmosphere or the feeling that Shanghai gives off. So for example, if you go to Montreal, it's got more of a European feel, it's very artsy. You know, if you go to Vancouver, it's a very young, hip city where no young, hip people can actually afford to live there. Well, nobody can. If you go to Ottawa, it's very sort of government-y, and you can feel your soul slowly being crushed into nothing because nothing ever happens in that city. Shanghai has this unshakable feeling of a Western big city. That's not a bad thing, but the whole time I was there, it really did feel like I stepped out of China. It was very odd. Big thanks to you guys for watching this video. I also wanted to thank the beautiful Lucy, who did a fantastic job, and to Cmilk and to Primo from his channel Raising Shanghai. I also kind of owe you guys an apology for not uploading too regularly. I filmed the same video twice, and I'm gonna have to do it for the third fucking time because the footage ended up looking like this. Before that, I had never met him before, and you just have this overwhelming feeling of guilt.
Right. Even some of the Shanghai footage didn't really work out the way I wanted to. Either I didn't get the content I wanted, or the audio wasn't working. but those videos will come to you very soon. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay positive, keep your stick on the ice, and I will catch you on the next one.